My name is Kriston, and I am from Phoenix, Arizona. I loved being in nature for class. I do not prefer to be indoors all day, and this is such a beautiful place. It has great vegetation, great quality of air, great animals, and so being immersed in that, I think, at least for me, brought a sense of like connectedness to my environment, and it was very calming for me. And to be away from the distractions of, like, say, a very loud city or something where there was a lot of hustle and bustle going on, I think would have been harder for me to concentrate. And here I just felt it much easier to stay focused. Yeah. My favorite part about the program was that it was so varied. Like, we gave each thing a good amount of time, so we got to learn about chakras, we got to learn about eating well, we got to learn about the philosophy, we got to do the postures, we got to go out into nature and contemplate different concepts through conversation with each other. So for someone who likes a lot of like variation or spice in their life, this was a great program because it wasn't monotonous. I felt learning about the philosophy was an extremely important part of this program. Myself, as well as many other people, I think only picture the postures in yoga, but it really is an entire lifestyle that you can learn about throughout the course of your life, and it's really helpful ways to live a better life, to live a healthier life, to live a more kind and loving life. And I know for me personally, after doing this program, I have a deepened sense of not only the postures, but things that I want to study to incorporate in all areas of my life that come from the philosophy. In my body, I felt a transformation. I learned, even being a dancer, I already had a pretty strong base knowledge of my own body, but with the emphasis on alignment here, I learned a lot about balancing all my muscles, and I learned about ways that I could even out my body so it could work more as a whole. So physically, I had a transformation. I learned to use my muscles in a different way, in a more balanced way. And then emotionally, there was a big transformation as well, because the philosophy involves what we call yamas and niyamas. And we would focus on different concepts each week and really think about these concepts. And I know that I'm going home with new routines, new ways of eating, and just new doors that have opened as far as things that I want to study that are born from the philosophy we studied in yoga. I have that strong foundation, and because of all the props and all the modifications that we used, I know that I can teach beginners and keep them safe. I know that I know how to give people options in yoga so it can be more accessible, like not just to those who have already been practicing a long time, but to people who are being introduced to yoga for the first time. Because I think one of the great things about yoga is it's all inclusive, and it doesn't limit itself to a certain group of people. And so I'm interested in that, in being able to make yoga more accessible in the areas that it's not already thriving. The treehouse field trip was amazing because we did a meditation that I'll never forget, where we practiced communication, nonverbal communication. So we got to sit across from one another, really feel what it feels like to look someone in the eye, like think a positive thought towards that person, allow someone to think a positive thought towards you. And it made me think about, like, it is kind of rare to just sit across from someone and look them in the eye in silence and see what you see. It's a very strong connection, and that was my favorite part about that day, is sitting up on the platform in that beautiful tree and being able to look each one of my classmates in the eye and remember the reasons that I appreciate them. I will miss this town. I will miss all my classmates. I'll miss the teachers. I'll miss being able to practice every day in this environment, but I also feel really inspired to bring what I've learned here to where I live now and start to establish my own practice. And my favorite part of this experience was how much thought and care was put into designing a well-balanced program for us and giving us such a wide spectrum of yoga, from chanting to meditation in the ocean to practicing every day and working on our alignment to learning how to eat well and learning how to really care for ourselves. So for me, it was really a wholeness experience, not just a yoga